All right, sauce caramel. We're going to have to jump right into this one. No lead-ins. You can see that I'm putting 2 cups of sugar into a very clean saucepan, and that is important, that the saucepan is clean and your sugar is clean. We're going to add a half a cup of water in total to the sugar, okay? Now, you don't want to move the pan around at all. A little bit, just to help that sugar absorb some of that water. I want to give you as many close-ups inside the pan on this dish as possible, okay? Now, again, we don't want to stir this up. If you do, you're going to take risk of crystallizing the sugar. You saw that I had the cream. I'm well meased out. We're going to talk more about being well meased out or your mise en place. You can see that I have a very high flame here. I put our pan on the flame and getting it ready to start cooking. And again, don't move the sugar. Don't put a spoon in it. Just let it be. See the bubbles forming in the right-hand side of the pan? That heat's really starting to get to it now. Now here's a point where you see this little island of a clump of sugar that is formed, and it's going to really tempt you to move the pan or stir it in. You're going to be afraid that's never going to melt, but don't worry about it, man. Just leave this alone. Trust me, if you move this now, you're going to take a real big chance of crystallizing the sugar. Now, as we're talking, you can see it getting a lot smaller, and you see the bubbles getting a lot more violent. All right, I'm doing this in real time. If there's a bobble in the camera or two, be patient with me. I'm trying to give you as best of a look or as good of a look as possible inside the pan so you know how to make this dish. We've kind of stepped the level up a little bit. Okay, some of the first dishes that you've seen have been pretty elementary, but this is kind of complex. Now we're making pastries. No, we're making candy. All right, so right here, we're going to go about a 1-minute jump because we don't have the time to show you every nuance. All right, right here, this is a 1-minute jump. Same heat. You can see it hasn't changed much, but if you notice in the lower left-hand side of the screen that you've got a little bit of color starting to form. And you also notice that island of sugar is completely gone, right? All right, look at it. All right, check this out. See that lower left-hand side of the screen where the caramel is just now starting to form. And you see the very top bubbles in the middle? If you can see this, this is looking really good, but if you would have moved it earlier, I guarantee you'd see some signs of crystallization, of this whole pan seizing up on you, and you won't know what to do. So make your caramel a couple of days early before your guests arrive, and don't try to make it the day of the event, so that you're not a babbling basket case by the time your guests arrive to your party, whether you're a professional, consider yourself a professional, or just a home entertainer. All right, get this stuff done like on Tuesday if your party's on Saturday. Don't wait till Saturday, even Friday to do this. Get yourself well meased out. All right, now look to the upper right-hand side of the screen. This one's ready to go. It's just about there. We've got nice color. All right, just about right now, I'm going to go ahead and turn this thing a little bit so that some of that color can envelop in the rest of this caramelizing sugar. If I leave it in one place too long, the sugar will actually start to burn, and what will end up happening is we'll get a bitter sauce rather than a sweet sauce. So as soon as I see the sugar safe, I'm going to go ahead and start turning it. What I mean by safe is that if we move the pan violently too early, the whole thing is going to seize up, like I said. But now look at the color that we've got going on here in the pan. This is looking absolutely beautiful to me and looking really, really solid. I think this is going to be a very strong candy that we have here. As a matter of fact, I'm absolutely certain of it by this color that we have. So if you can think of, if anybody can remember Jiffy Pop, all right, you know, you had to put it on the stove before there was micros, and you had to slide it back and forth so everything got popping. That's the way you want to think of this, because the caramel is so hot. Everything inside the pan is really cooking at such a high degree. The heat, it just can be overwhelming to it. So you want to keep it moving so that it's actually cooking from its own heat that it's creating inside of itself, if that makes any sense. But it will when you make it. You'll get it. Whatever you do, man, whatever you do at this point, don't even think about putting your finger in here and tasting it, because this shit is hot, man. And it's going to stick on your finger, and if you try to peel it off, it's just going to take a bunch of flesh and a bunch of skin with it and leave you with some bones. So just, like I said, don't do it. All right, you see me pulling it away? Like I said, I want the heat to really envelop. Our caramel was there. That was the right color. Now we're going to go ahead and add our cream to it. We're adding 1 liter of cold cream. So what's going to happen as soon as that cream hits it is that it's going to seize up, but in a good way. All right, it's gonna actually, that candy just turned into candy once it got chilled with the fresh cream. So what we're going to do now is we're just going to keep working it in the pan. The hotter the cream gets, the more it's going to melt and dissolve this nice candy block we got stuck to my whisk here. But you saw me just move my hand and change hands. I actually turned the stove down. The caramel's already cooked. We don't want to cook it anymore. We just want the cream to start to get hot so that it'll accept this candy that's going to be dissolving into it. But real important to keep it moving. You don't want to just sit this in the stove, walk away, and come back. This isn't one of those dishes, guys. You can't do that, especially in the sugar stage of it, man. Caramel is like, in restaurant, it's kind of like bacon, all right? It gets burnt more than anything else in a restaurant kitchen. And if you're in culinary school or you've been doing this for a while, you get what I'm saying. I know you do. Bacon, man, you throw it in the oven and it can be almost done, but it's those last few minutes, man. It's those last 4 minutes. It can just take it from perfect to black in a second. You know what I mean? So this is one of those things, especially the candy in part. Stay next to it. Watch the color envelop. Don't touch it. We saw when we got that kind of a root beer color is what you're looking in the candy stage before the cream went in, remember? And it should be really clear and transparent. It shouldn't be cloudy at all. The sign of making a good caramel, right? And part of that is just not moving it. All right, so we've got this caramel. You can see it actually dissolving into as the cream gets hotter. It's more of this caramel is enveloping into a sauce and becoming less of a singular item and becoming more of a combined item, meaning that, you know, we put ice cold cream into basically caramelized candy. It was two things. Now they're developing into one, which is a sauce caramel. This is so good, man. This stuff is unbelievable. Wait till you make this and chill it and pour it either under a pastry or over some ice cream or whatever, man. This one is really cool. So see what's going on here in the pan. It's almost all the way gone. Take a look, one more look at my whisk, and you know, and here it is. You see that it's completely dissolved and, well, almost dissolved. All right, so you see what's going on here, all right? We no longer have 2 units. We have one. This is a sauce with a little bit of candy still on my whisk that hasn't broke down yet, but it's getting there. Now, a lot of people would say, okay, this is it, right? As soon as that sugar is basically dissolved, the sauce is ready. No, absolutely not. And if that's your mindset and, you know, this is just entertainment, then let it be entertainment and just go out and buy some shit. But if you're cooking, our responsibility is to develop great flavors. And the way we do that sometimes is through reduction, but we definitely want to create deep, robust flavors in everything that we're doing. Now look at me. See me whisking with the upper part of my whisk around the sides of the pan? All right, there's no more candy there. See this? Look at this. All right, we have a sauce. I've reduced this a couple times, and I wish I could have showed it to you, but there's so much going on here that we just don't have the time on YouTube. All right, see me just making certain that everything is united. We have a wonderful sauce. You're gonna wanna let this reduce a couple of times, okay? Let it come up, turn the heat down, let it go down, keep whisking it in. I've done this at least 4 times. Let this cream reduce, but now you can see that color, man. Look at that. I mean, that's caramel. All right, cool. Now we're back here. We're off the stove. I'm letting this cool off a little bit. I'm going to throw my stainless steel bowl into my ice. And now we're going to chill this down real quick. I pulled this off. It's been off the stove now for like, I don't know, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. So it's still really hot. But we're going to bring this down real quick by putting it in a nice ice bath and then continually whisking it and then eventually ladling it because we don't want to add a bunch of air into it, right? All right, we've got it in the ice bath. Now, here's this. I left this in for a reason. All of the Euro geezers that I worked for coming up were crazy. And if you put a saucepan in the dishwash station with stuff still in it, you'd find it getting thrown at you at whatever station you were working in. So I just want to give you an idea of the mindset back when I was coming up. You had to make certain that you were using your spat to clean the pan almost as clean as a dishwasher would. Look at this. Man, it's clean, right? But that was the only way that was acceptable, because if you turned that shit into the dish station and chef came by looking at it, man, it was your ass. And like I said, that shit would come flying at you later in the night, and definitely not when you wanted it. When you were getting your ass handed to you and you were in the weeds, chef would throw a pan at you and say, next time, use all the product. All right. What I'm doing now is I'm just using my ladle, okay? Like I said before, I don't want to put a bunch of bubbles in this. I want to keep this real nice. You can see the viscosity changing right before your eyes. It's getting silkier, smoother, and finer. It's getting ready to put away for your upcoming event. This was made on a Tuesday for a Friday guest arrival. And that's fine. Get everything done. Get everything meased out, like I said. Get everything prepped. So, all right, so that's what we're doing. We're prepping everything out, measing everything out. But what I'm going to do with this sauce caramel is a couple of things. We've got a series coming up. I'm doing a lot of pastry technique. Again, we're chilling this. I'm going to put it into our nice fleur bowl. But what this is going to turn into, the next thing I'm going to make is a creme anglaise. We're going to take that creme anglaise, make that creme anglaise into ice cream in my beautiful Italian ice cream maker, and we're going to make a salted caramel ice cream with Hawaiian flake sea salt. It's going to be amazing, man. I'm going to show you this. Like I said, if you keep watching these videos, I'm going to show you great culinary techniques. I'm going to make it really easy. I'm going to spell it out for you. I'm going to show you the nuances of making great cuisine. Okay, right now it's sauce caramel. I appreciate you watching the video. The next is going to be creme anglaise, and we're going to start a series now of some really little bit more complicated pastry techniques. But if you watch, I guarantee you're going to enjoy and learn. So remember, there's food and then there's love, and this one is love. Make it and find out and give some love to someone you love. All right, peace.